So one of the questions I get a lot is how to do those kind of cool Chicago-y kind of jazzy chords, and it's not that difficult, but it's just about finding the right patch, the right sound. So I'm a big fan of Silent. If you see my videos, you'll already know that. And what I went for is this in bank 4, so you don't have to load any banks. Already comes down with Silent. They have all these presets that emulate all the old synthesizers, and they do a pretty good job. They don't sound amazing, and I'm going to show you guys how to make them sound even cooler. But you can definitely get a good vibe from them, and if we just listen to this sound, let me just get the keyboard up. There we go. Oh no, wrong keyboard, sorry guys. Musical typing, here we go. You can kind of hear it's got that kind of analog sound. Now what I really like about this sound is the modulation envelope. It's got a kind of slow attack, not too slow, but it kind of swings into the sound. But you know, it doesn't have the most character in the world. So if you want to make the chord, I went straight for the chord after this point, after I got my sound. I used a MIDI effects in Logic, and I used the -7/9. That's the best for chords. Not the best for chords. It's the chord I prefer to use. There are other programs that do make chords for you. Like there's one called Cthulhu by Xfer, which I'd recommend checking out. Really, really great plugin. But since Logic put this one in, that's what I started using. So check this out. Let's increase it. I mean, that's perfect. Now I really like where this is heading, but it just didn't feel real enough. You know, it didn't feel like analog enough. So I didn't want to open the cutoff, because as soon as I opened the cutoff, it lost that kind of magic. I kind of liked the deepness, but I wanted more high frequencies. So what I did was I used an exciter to drive some of the frequencies above 2600 Hertz and increase the harmonics. So it gave it a little bit of distortion, which is what I feel analog synths have. They have a kind of natural saturation and natural distortion. So check this out. It's got those high frequencies now, but they're a bit lighter and a bit kind of loose. I don't know, I think it sounds fantastic. So I'm really getting into using the exciter at the moment. Don't use it on everything, guys, or it will sound horrible, but pick and choose and it can be incredibly powerful. A little bit of chorus. Now I used the chorus because I wanted to emulate a sort of Juno chorus. I think a little bit of spread. It will take away from the punchiness a bit, but it will add that kind of stereo depth. And again, chorus is very loose. It's not synced to a BPM or anything, so you're moving closer to that kind of analog-y sound. Saturn, getting it nice and warm. Now, I actually drove this to the point where you can hear the distortion. You can kind of hear the grit. You always hear the crackle, and I thought that was really cool. I kind of wanted this to sound as analog as possible, and I think it is not an easy thing to do on your computer, but it is possible if you use the right techniques. So that was great. A little bit of EQ. Just felt a bit muddy around there. Just made it a bit lighter. Some sort of low mids there were conflicting a bit. And last but not least, a bit of reverb. Now, this is a new trick I've been using, and I don't apply this reverb to everything, it's just to specific things, but get a reverb that you like. bass, and I thought that was really cool, but then I realized the grit from the Saturn that we had on the synthesizer was kind of making the reverb a bit like kind of high and pretty, and I wanted the sound to be kind of cool and low key, especially the reverb on it. So I filtered out the high end. Now I always filter out the low end because I don't want any low frequencies coming through my reverb because it can make the mix really muddy. But doing the high end, push that reverb really into the background, made it quite dark. It made it sound like one of those old plate reverbs. See that kind of high bite? I'm just not into that at all. So, by itself, sounds much cooler. Now let me play the riff that I did with the track. Go with a little bit less reverb. But it's so tucked into the background, you don't even notice it. So there you have it, guys, how to make the chords. I hope you enjoyed the videos, and I'll see you soon.
Remember, at Sample Tools by CR2, we also offer a mix and mastering service. Just head over to www.sampletoolsbycr2.com, click on the mastering tab, and you'll find our range of services there.